Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
It's Wednesday night, and this week for another episode of Roughneck Racing Truck Series presented by Wagoner's Welding. We're live from the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. It's the behemoth of a racetrack, 2.66 miles. And here tonight for Roughneck, it's going to be 20 plus cars out on the racetrack, bumper to bumper. Doesn't get much better than this. The pinnacle of motorsports, the definition of NASCAR, and what these guys are going to bring to the table as we race 70 laps here today. Hope you're having a great evening as we're in Lincoln, Alabama, not Fort Worth, Texas. There you go. Now we're in the right location. Opened September 13th, 1969. 33 degrees of banking, the steepest banking of any racetrack in the world. Race analysis up on your screen. It will be 70 laps, pit road speed limit at 55 miles per hour. Fast repair limit 1 here today. And of course, 80% fuel in the iRacing fixed setup as always. Look at the schedule. We'll be going to Michigan next week. Then a little hiatus there for Christmas break and New Year's before we come back to Talladega for our Throwback All-Star event on the 8th of January. But we're lining up on the front stretch right now as we speak. Let's get that grid up on your screen. Starting on the pole here today, it's going to be Zach Tyler in the number 20 with a 54.915. Chris Melton will start to his outside. Run number 2 belongs to Dalton Steele with Benjamin Richards in 4th position. Then it's Brian Hennings and James Waring in row number 3. Daniel Love and Johnny Hurst in 7th and 8th position. Matthew Barker and Jimmy Pylan in 10th. That's Mama T. Spiker, Mama Teresa. Starting in 11th, Doug Wagoner in 12th. Chris Ramsey and Chad Hawkins, 13th and 14th. Larry Fairman, Justin Hollings, 15th and 16th position. Then Dale Adamson and Mike Presley will start 17th and 18th. Rounding out your top 20, it's Edward Fiedler and Tony Richards out on the racetrack. Tim Richardson will round out this 21 truck field as we come around down the backstretch to get ready for week number 8. So last week at Texas, back and forth a lot up front, but it was Falkingham who dominated the day, was able to pull away from the rest of the field. Falkingham not out on the field here tonight. Zach Tyler getting ready to be the command truck. Going to be rather difficult to run away with this one. You won't see a dominant driver throughout the field. You might see someone lead a lot of laps to start the first half of the race, but the more we progress towards the end, the more gutsy these trucks will get, the more three wide you'll see, and the more lead changes most likely that we'll have. It's just a product of pack racing and what it can bring to the table, but the excitement is ready to go. 70 laps into turn one. Zach Tyler on the loud pedal. Roughneck Racing is live from Talladega. Leading lap number one, it will be Zach Tyler from the pole. 41 of Dalton Steele pushes him to the front. We already have three wide starting to develop here on the outside of turns 1 and 2. It's the 21 of James Waring getting a shove from Chris Ramsey. Johnny Hurst actually is the one behind the 21. Trying to give a shove here to Waring to get it going. You gotta be careful where you square up on these bumpers. It's very easy to turn somebody. You see right there, just a little bit of a clip on that right rear coming out of that exit. That could definitely spell trouble for a driver. Ryan Hennings takes over the point, able to pass from the outside. The 49 of Chris Melton gives him the shove. Hennings drops down to the bottom, but here's Melton down the middle. Big shove from Benjamin Richards to second. And Richards drops down in front of Hennings, going to have the run into 3 and 4. Little wiggle on the outside, they get sideways. The 58 and the 21 trying to make clear. This is up towards the front. So if anything happens on that outside, the whole field most likely to be involved in it. 4 wide across the quad. And out of the trioval, the 21 left it hung out to dry. Contact with the 70, and there they go. Yellow flag is out. The 13 down to the apron. And it looks like Tony Richards is involved. Larry Fairman. 746 of Dale Adamson. That's going to bring out our first caution of the day. 99 trying to get it turned around. And this really, it starts up there with James Waring and the 58, I believe. Maybe some contact from the 70. We'll back this up again. Let's take a look at it from the blimp camera. Yes. I believe contact between the 21 and the 70 here. It's Teresa Spiker. They're 4 wide here. And it looks like Teresa Spiker bounces off the door. Maybe the 20 comes up into her door. See how tight that window was getting, though, when you're going 4 wide into the corner like that. Let's back this up one more time. On board with Teresa Spiker. And right there around lap 3, coming on to lap 4, we got our first caution of the day. 80% fuel, so most likely going to see drivers come in and top off. Benjamin Richards leads them into pit road. Not likely to see 4 tires, but we will see as much fuel as they can fit in these machines. Richard slides through the box there slightly, might lose the lead over this. 49 of Welding is going to take over the point. Melton takes over. We'll go back green with about 60 laps to go. Don't go anywhere. We still have a lot of racing left to be done. You're watching the Roughneck Racing Truck Series presented by Wagoner's Welding. More coverage will continue here on V-Speed in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Talladega. Getting ready to go back green as they're doubled back up. You can tune in next week when we go live from Michigan International. It'll be next Wednesday for week number 9. That'll be on the 18th of December. Michigan, very similar to this racetrack. Not quite as steep of banking, though, and about a half a mile shorter. Still very high speeds, very momentum-based, and multi-groove racing. You'll see a lot of pack style, as you're seeing here tonight from Talladega. We've already tried 4 wide here today. It didn't work out. Hopefully we can get this thing back green for a long run and see these green flag pit stops. It's about the only way anyone's going to get away from the rest of this pack. And even then, they're still going to have 2 or 3 trucks in that grouping that are going to have to be relied upon to maintain. Pace truck getting out of the way. It's Chris Melton. Brian Hiddings on the front row now. Benjamin Richards led them down pit road. He had some laps led. And now Melton has the 56 back on the rear bumper. Let's see if Benjamin Richards can keep this 49 truck up front. Will Brian Hiddings get the shove from the 58? Green flag is out. We're back underway at Talladega. Already, Benjamin Richards all over the back bumper. The 49 giving him a push past Brian Hiddings. Look to the outside, though. It looks like the 58 and that outside line maybe going to get it going a little bit faster. Outside line has fallen apart. And that bails out the 56 and the 49. It looks like they've reorganized, but not in time here. Melton will lead this time around. Not very many trucks nose to tail here on this inside, and Brian Hiddings says otherwise. He's going to take it all the way up. 2 car lengths cleared, and he'll stay to the outside with the 58 of Hurst. Now drops down. Hiddings, Hurst, Melton, Highland, and Richards, the top 5. '29 truck looks a little wiggly, a little squirrely there coming out of the corner. See, back and forth a lot here. Chasing the 58 up the racetrack there on the entry of 3 and 4, all the way to the outside, washes up the racetrack. 21 to the middle now. And Jimmy Pilen left out to dry. All the way back to 11th position now, probably going to lose a couple more. Brian Hiddings maintains the lead. Bottom line looking very organized here. Lap number 10 complete. And the turbulence on the front end of these trucks. I know that the 49's trying to let it breathe a little bit here. But almost washes up into that outside, actually drops back. Looks like the temps were getting too high, and the 49 has to drop back. That's another factor here with this pack racing. And if you look off the back, trouble! 58 into the outside wall, and across the nose of the 74. Brian Hiddings gets a piece of it, but Benjamin Richards sneaks through. Hiddings, minimal damage, but the 58 truck, heavily damaged. Left side of that thing is not aligned anymore. What happened here? We'll go back on the replay. It looks like contact gone wrong between the 21. Teresa Spiker to the inside, almost hits the inside wall, able to lock it down. 96 involved. It's Matthew Barker. Let's ride on board with Brian Hiddings here. Another look at it from Benjamin Richards' point of view. Another round of pit stops underway now. Larry Fairman looks like the 99 is going to stay out. A few trucks missed the box again. Richards really misses the box here. At least I thought I saw the 56 have to back up there. Maybe I'm just seeing maybe a glitch, or not entirely sure. He was able to drop the jack there and maintain position. Zach Tyler able to get out. Dalton Steele picks up some spots. 14 gains for Larry Fairman. You got to say that maybe some flat spots on those tires. The 99 was involved in that last incident. So while we have a moment here, we're going to pull Mama Teresa into the booth. Mama Teresa, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. Do you got a copy?
I do. How are you, Bradley?
Probably better than you. You've had to dodge 2 incidents now, and the last one took you to the inside grass. I thought you were going to hit the wall. Good save there. But just a moment ago, we had 4 wide this early at Talladega. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, he got hung out, so it was really a matter of trying to save it without ending up in a wreck. So I could understand it, but it sucks to be 4 wide at that, this early in the race.
Seems like maybe a little bit of, I don't know what to call it. Anticipation. Aggression? Anticipation? Yeah, one of the A words. We'll go with one of the A words. But, you've got a lot of people out here that you're familiar with, that you've raced with a lot in other leagues and over at VRX. So who comes to mind? Who's going to get you up there back to the front?
I always tend to look for Brian or Benji or Tony or Ed. However, of course, Baker would help. So we'll see.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time there, Mama T, and good luck getting back up there. You still got plenty of racing left to do, and I think you still got that fast repair, or have you used it yet?
I did use my fast repair.
Well, that's unfortunate. Still a lot of racing left to be done, so hopefully no more incidents around the 70 truck.
That's right. I hear that. Thank you to V-Speed. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Mama Teresa in the number 70, getting ready to go back green from the 10th position. Larry Fairman will lead them into turn 1. Dalton Steele on the outside. Zach Tyler, Benjamin Richards, and Jimmy Pilan in the top 5. Ryan Hennings had to repair some of that damage. He got across the nose, but he did not use the fast repair. Looks like Johnny Hurst has used his. James Waring, Justin Hollings, and Matthew Barker have all burned their 1 fast repair that they get here tonight. So now, maybe we see the aggression dial back a little bit with some of these drivers losing that fast repair. That's kind of your safety net. And I know I drive a little bit less cautious. I'm a little more aggressive when I have that safety net. on the back burner, but once I lose it, my mentality changes and try to save that thing until the very end, because you're almost guaranteed a big wreck at some point in this race. Wheel spin for the 41. Outside wall, missed the shift, and we've got trouble in the backfield. 70 trucks around again. 52 of Tony Richards. Big checkup back here. My oh my, what happened here? We had wheel spin from the 41 that checks up the field here. And it looks like the 84 also checks up. Big check up there on the outside that causes all of this. There's Tony Richards getting sent around by the 5. But let's look at this from the blimp camera. Let's look up front here. We'll see the wheel spin. But then it's back here with the 84 truck of Chad Hawkins that things really go wrong. He checks up and the 70 gets into the back of him. And just a domino effect. That chain reaction on these restarts. Now we need to go back and figure out exactly what happened to the 41. Dalton Steele. Just trucks slid out from under him, I guess. $15 laps in, 3 cautions. 6 lead changes. Watching Dalton Steele here as they cycle back around the racetrack. Might see some drivers pull it down pit road. Looks like the 41 will do so. So we'll give them a moment to do that. But I'm curious to see what happened. I want to pull Dalton Steele up here in the booth because this is kind of bizarre. You don't see wheel spin too often here at Talladega. So kind of confused. Maybe contact. Maybe some net code there between him and Larry Fairman. Not entirely sure what sent that 41 truck around here. But we'll get a word with the 41 in just a moment. Probably getting some damage repaired here. Go ahead and pull the 41 up into the booth. Dalton Steele, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, good.
I got to ask, was there a net code or some kind of contact, wheel spin? What exactly happened there on that restart?
Oh, I just went and then I got ran over from behind and then I went down into the door and net coded up into the wall.
So we saw a big checkup behind you there. Drivers letting off to kind of counter. They didn't know where you were going to end up. But outside of that, how's the truck been handling here today? I know that we've seen some 3 wide, some 4 wide. It's been rather aggressive. Is this truck stable?
Yeah, the truck's pretty stable. I noticed it gets a little bit hotter quicker than it did before the update. Really just need to ride around and just get used to it again. But all in all, it still feels about the same as it did.
Well, Dalton, we appreciate you coming up here in the booth with us, taking the time. Anybody you want to shout out real quick while we have you up here?
Doug for putting this on.
Thank you for your time, Dalton. We'll see you maybe post-race.
All right.
It's Dalton Steele in the number 41. Larry Fairman, Zach Tyler, Jimmy Pyland. Top 3. So we'll get set to go back green at about lap 18. I believe it will be 18. I think we'll get the 1 to go signal here. And we do. So the aggression level hasn't really peaked yet. We've seen some glimpses of what these drivers are capable of, willing to do to get to the front. We're definitely going to accelerate that as this run continues. And usually with Talladega, cautions breed cautions. The more yellows you get, the closer you get to running out of time, the crazier these restarts will get. Just a slight miscalculation here by the 41 or a driver behind him. Not entirely sure what happened there. For the fourth time today, we are going to watch that iRacing pace truck pull out of the way and try to get some green flag laps in. Let's go on board with Jimmy Pilen for this restart. The 29 truck. See these restarts in real time. Watch how difficult it can be. Into the restart zone, you'll see that on the right-hand side. And here we go, green flag back underway at Talladega. '21 truck still running. Doug Wagoner had a brief connection issue there. Back out on the track now, 7 laps down. 99 of Larry Fairman has the advantage by about 3 truck lengths going into 3 and 4. Outside line, bobbles around again. Brian Hennings almost loses it. And what a save there, but Melton is totaled here coming out of turns 3 and 4. And I believe a bad push here on the back of Brian Hennings. Melton has a fast repair, I believe, in the back pocket. Gonna try to limp this thing to pit road with the hood up. Not exactly sure. I don't know if the 49 can find his pit box or not. Will Melton make it to that pit box? This might be the longest pit stop, pit road entry we've ever seen here on V-Speed. Can Chris Melton make the stall? It looks like he will not. So we'll back this thing up, try to see what happened. This is going into 3 and 4. Brian Hennings maybe gets a touch on that rear bumper where he doesn't want it. And that might be on Chris Melton there, looking to the inside. Back this up one more time. Looks to the middle here. window is very tight. It's just very, very tight move. Very, very early to be doing that, I would say. Still got a lot of racing left to be done. Unfortunately for Chris Melton, he has to tow to his pit box. He'll end up a lap down. Now 2 laps down. Hennings able to hold on to it. Ryan Hennings has been trying not to use that fast repair. So while we wait, another opportunity to bring a driver into the V-Speed booth. And it's Brian Hennings in the 74. Do you got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Cooper?
Well, you've had to hold on to it there. It was quite the save. Big wiggle into 3 and 4. You had a truck come across your nose there out of 3 and 4. 3 and 4 just not been kind to you so far.
Yeah, Melton just, he got into me a little bit and started to turn to me. And, I don't know, I was able to save it. So, 20 seconds of damage, no harm, no foul, I guess.
And so the damage before that, how long did you have on pit road to get that repaired?
50 seconds on the longest one so far. And,
so we've had about 1:10 here total on this truck.
Yes, and I don't know if it's a new update, but usually whenever you have wheel damage, if you're not using a fast repair, isn't it always permanently there? Do you recall?
I would say that it's usually, if it's wheel damage, it becomes kind of
it's something that never gets fixed, right?
Yeah. I don't think that you can fix that. So,
well, apparently you now can, because I did have wheel damage, did not use my fast repair, and now it says my truck is fine.
Well, there you go. We're discovering new things about this update. We're kind of in uncharted territory, and for you, you're going to be mid-pack here, so kind of uncharted on top of that, running behind some of these guys that you probably haven't seen yet today. Good luck out there, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anybody want to shout out real quick while we got you up here?
Everyone at VRX and everybody at V-Speed, you guys are awesome.
Appreciate that. We'll maybe get to talk to you post-race, all right?
Hope so. We'll see. Thanks.
Brian Hennings in the number 74. Be restarting in the 13th, 14th position. Back doubled up. Let's try it again. About a third of the way through this race. Jimmy Pylan, Tim Richardson, Johnny Hurst, Zach Tyler. Chad Hawkins there. It's actually going to be Mike Presley that's going to be the top 5. This will tighten back up here in these front 3 rows. Tony Richards and Benjamin Richards back there side by side. Pace truck out of the way. And lap 22. 4 cautions so far. 9 lead changes. Into the Geico restart zone for Jimmy Pylan. Green flag is out. And we are back underway. Let's see, in a lane change, I believe the 2 truck is going to get a black flag for that one. I'm not sure on the rules here in this league, but a common rule across every league we watch here on V-Speed is not to change lanes before the start-finish line. They'll probably have to go back and review that, but most likely that's going to result in a penalty. I can tell you this, Jimmy Pylan does not want that to happen. Has the 2 of Richardson on the back bumper. Tim Hollywood Richardson is going to keep that 29 up front. Quick blink out there from the 29, a little connection issue, and you never want to see that with the driver leading the race. Benjamin Richards getting a big shove here with the 41, the 49 behind. 56 up to second now. Richards just about clears the middle line. He does. He'll come down, but doesn't commit to it. And a big problem behind him. 49 caught up in another one. And Teresa Spiker off the pace. I believe she got involved in that. Great save down there on the apron, but trying to check up for what could have been an incident there. And for Benjamin Richards, not committing to that middle line. If you're going to come down, come down. Creates a checkup on the outside. Almost turns a few guys. Tag on the apron there from Richardson. And the 58 gets shuffled out here. Richards is going to pick up a spot, get back to fourth. What a beautiful paint scheme on that number 2 truck. I don't know if I mentioned that last week, but it was one of my favorite paints out on the racetrack. Register retro. Second line redeveloping. The 99 of Fairman leading this group. 58. Johnny Hurst giving the shove. The 21 of James Waring following suit on this outside line. Pushing back up. 3 wide. Across the trioval. The 49 in the middle. 99 left out to dry. That's okay for Larry Fairman. It looks like the 58 is going to pick him up. 49 actually. Contact with the outside wall. 21 loses ground. The Miami U hits the wall hard coming out of turn 2. James Waring falls out of this pack of draft. Larry Fairman back to the lead. This will be his 7th lap led, coming by for lap 27. Line redevelops the 2 truck of Richardson, trying to get the 29 of Pyland back by 2 by 2, about 7 rows deep here. A lot of turbulence here on this outside. On board now, Chris Melton. Watch the wheel work back and forth here. And left a little bit too much room there. The 99 went up too high, gets the lap led, but then falls back. Left out to dry on the high line. Little hole there, maybe could drop down. He will. And now it's up to Chris Melton, the driver that had to burn that fast repair and use that tow just a minute ago. Is actually a lap down. So Chris Melton is just trying to get that lap back here. 41. Dalton Steele takes over the lead. 49 back on the lead lap, but left in the middle, drops down to the bottom to try to keep that lap. Here comes Brian Hennings on the high line with the, I believe that's the 58. Yes, it is. Hennings has the lead by about 100th of a second there in the entry. I know it doesn't look like it, but that 49 kind of changes the outlook. All he has to do is beat the second truck in line there, and he's got clean air. Back to the lead for Brian Hennings. 49 of Melton down there on the bottom, trying to keep that lead lap rather. 58 is all over the back bumper. You would think there was 10 to go. And a big surge down the backstretch, almost 3 truck lengths. 58 looks down to the bottom. I don't think Hennings was wanting to go down there just yet. Another lap led for the 74. 30 laps complete. See the back and forth down that back stretch and into 3 and 4. It looks like the 29 got Melton back on the lead lap there by about half a truck. They'll come out of 3 and 4 now with a big surge of speed on the outside. 58 still has the lead. Pushing Brian Hennings past that 49 truck and 29 on the inside. Another one by. Hennings is doing a phenomenal job here, trying to keep pace and avoid anything else happening to that 74. Still has the faster pair in the back pocket though. A little bit deeper in this group, Dalton Steele, driver that was involved in some incidents earlier. Currently in the 8th position. Heavy check up here on the outside. And now we're looking at 3 wide. It looks like a lap truck, the 13. That's Chris Ramsey causing the checkup back here. Now Hennings has to claw his way back to the point. 29. Highland back up front, giving a big push to the 49. Trying to keep him on the lead lap. Gets a little loose. Back and forth. Able to hold it. But up through the middle. Here comes the 41. Hennings goes back to the high line there. How about that for Dalton Steele? From about 8th position all the way to the lead. And this time by, Steele's going to snag away a lap leg. That makes 2 for the day now for the 41. 15 lead changes thus far in just 34 laps. Just about at the halfway point. Track temperature 119 degrees. That's probably creating a lot of this unstable, unsettled look that you're seeing. A lot of bobbing and weaving, a lot of turbulence as it is, but trying to keep hold of this thing out of these exits. It's looked rather difficult. Hennings will fall back to the 5th position. His help hits the outside wall there. That was the 58. Johnny Hurst is going to fall back to about 11th or 12th now. Three wide for the front, 3 rows. That third line starting to develop again with the 96 of Barker. 41 sees that, tries to draft off the 76 here. It's another lap led. The 70 truck having a hard time, goes a lap down. That's Mama Teresa trying to dodge that wreck there just a moment ago. Dropped down to the apron and had to save it. And sideways for the 58. 29's involved. 49, heavy damage. And the 58, who went sideways there briefly, is able to straighten it back out. But a few trucks not so lucky. Chris Melton gets a piece of it. Let's go back on the V-Speed instant replay, try to figure out exactly how this goes down. That's the 17 truck, actually, that gets sent down there. So it was the other. Well, you know what? I don't have a 17 truck on my listing, so let's back this up again and try to figure out who that was. The C truck was not clear there. And I'm not exactly sure who that is in the 17. It's being labeled as the 44, so let's try this again here. You see the 41 of Dalton Steele comes down. The 17 tries to follow. Goes for a few loop-de-loops. Could have been a lot worse there on that inside wall. And that'll do it every time. Down pit road for Mike Presley. Few others into the pit box. '41 leads him in. Dalton Steele. Looks like 4 tires now for some of these drivers. Down and away here for the 99. And the battle off at pit road. It looks like the 20 is going to win it this time. Zach Tyler will have the lead. Laps completed. You're watching the Roughneck Racing Truck Series presented by Wagoner's Welding. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on V-Speed. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live at Talladega. About to be lap 40 here. The Roughneck Racing Truck Series. Right now, as it sits, Zach Tyler wins the battle off of pit road. Some drivers electing to take 4 tires, some drivers 2 tires. Still plenty of racing left to do as we're past the halfway mark. But for this next restart, we're going to take an opportunity to find those volume knobs. And crank it up a little bit here. Let's get loud here on V-Speed, presented by 29 Graphics. That's 29 Graphics get loud here on V-Speed. 3 wide for the lead here as they come out of 3 and 4. Continues on in 1 and 2. The 49 of Chris Melton somehow still has a truck capable of racing back to the front, trying to get back on the lead lap. Attempt number 2 now. 20 on the bottom, Zach Tyler in the middle, the 99 of Larry Fairman. Tim Richardson, Dale Adamson. 746 now into the top 5. Sideways, Melton, big crash. Coming out of turn 2, this is the big one. Richards is involved, Hennings. Tim Richardson, heavy damage. And Dale Adamson, who had just got up to 5th. Sun Drop Machine has right front damage. Here you're going to see a touch on the 41, gets into the back of him, then checks up heavy there. It's on board with Brian Hennings. The 21, the 41, the 74, 746, 71, 49, 13, the 70. It's going to be easier to list the trucks not involved in that one. Hawkins will stay out. Topping off with fuel here again. Zach Tyler wins the battle off of pit road. Chad Hawkins will lead them into turn 1. Don't go anywhere. Still a lot of racing left to be done here as we're past the halfway mark. Roughneck Racing, the Wagoner Truck Series. Coverage continues here on V-Speed right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live, Roughneck Racing at Talladega Super Speedway. Chad Hawkins, who has stayed out, will lead them into turn 1. Double back up after 6 cautions and over 10 lead changes, sitting somewhere around 20. 21, actually. We get set to go back green. We'll have 25 laps to go. The iRacing pace truck gets out of the way. Zach Tyler came in and topped off with fuel. And I believe a few of these drivers are gambling on maybe the possibility of another caution. Could most likely get us to the end of this race. Let's find out. Green flag back underway at Talladega 84 very early on the jump. We'll have no help going into turn 1. He's very lucky. The 20 decided to drop to the inside. Some help now from Zach Tyler on the back of Chad Hawkins, but here comes Jimmy Pylan. They were able to get it organized quicker, and Pylan back to the point. We've said Jimmy Pylan quite a few times here today. 29 is probably responsible for half of our lead changes here tonight. There's the 71 just behind that. It's actually labeled. I've got a 71. I've got driver a lap down here, trying to get back on the lead lap. Would be the lucky pass position up here in the 4th spot on track. 4th, 5th position. Not going to be good enough. Has to get around the leaders. Try not to get involved in anything that happens. That's what happened to Chris Melton. 49 still a lap down. Trying to work his way back up there, but looks like has lost the tail end of this draft. '58 of Johnny Hurst has kept the 29 up front now for about 2-3 laps. 11 laps led for Pylan. 84 falls behind a little bit here. And if you're Zach Tyler, you need to get this going. You need to get that 84 back up there. We're running out of time. At the end of this race, guys are going to develop that 3rd lane. We're going to see that happen again here momentarily. the exit of 2. 84 back to the front. Loses the help here. 29 blinks again. Connection issues continue on for Pylon. And still enough to keep him up front. A lot of movement around here. I've seen a lot of drivers in and out of the groove. Not sure if that has something to do with the update that recently came out. We're right on board here with the 29. Take a look at this wheel through the corner. This looks like it's been rather difficult to hold on to this thing. '71 going to try to get that lap back, drops down to the bottom. Now has help from the 84 of Hawkins. They have not come down in 1 and 2, so the lane is still there. We saw this earlier with Chris Melton, and it did not work out. Truck just trying to stay on the back end there. Almost turns the 71. There's Brian Hennings back on the high line. Has had to repair damage several times here today, but somehow has still been able to save that fast repair. Of all the things that truck's been involved in here today, it's one of the few trucks that still has one left. Heavy contact coming out of 3 and 4. 84 went up and door checked the 58. We're still on standby to see if the 71 can catch a break here and get back on the lead lap. But this is hindering, we saw it earlier. This is hindering the inside line from maintaining the lead. All the 29 has to do is stay ahead of that 84, and with another truck in front of them, it's even more difficult for the inside line to match and hang with that high outside groove. 3 trucks clear now. 96 will drop down in front of the 71 if he really wanted to. Hennings is almost up to this mark. Inside line still disorganized here. Island's going to come by for another lap led. 15 to go. 16-17. Little wiggle there for the 29. Maybe a bump where he didn't want it. That truck got upset, but able to hold on to it. Clean air for Jimmy Pylon. Staying in the middle. Seems to be working quite well. Into the picture here, the 49 of Chris Melton back on the rear bumper of Brian Hennings just in front. 99, the 41, who was involved in that incident earlier. Steele is 3 laps down after trying to get all of that damage repaired. Did not use the fast repair, but it took a long time to fix that truck. To go now. Jimmy Pilot stays up front, starts to pull another 3 truck lengths ahead of the 84, who's been stuck behind the lap down truck, the 71 of Daniel Love. Big check up there on the outside. The 29 gets another shot coming out of turn 4. Watch out the back bumper. This 58 of Johnny Hurst isn't relaxing at all. There is a push almost every single time he gets to that bumper. Has not checked up at all. Trying to keep that 29 up front. It's worked out so far. If you're Jimmy Pilot, you do not want to make a mistake. You do not want to take one of these exits wide, because that 58 truck is ready to shove as soon as they exit the corner. Trying to get some air on the 58. Breathe here again, cuts back down, gives Jimmy another one. And that right there is what we're worried about. That is not a good push. I can absolutely send that 29 to the outside, into the wall. Developed again. 3 laps down. Looks like the 41 trying to take the 49 back up here. Oh, contact, the 58. That bad bump that we talked about. He snapped it free and across the tri-oval into the outside wall. Caution will come out on lap 58. I'm not sure if that truck just disconnected the wheel. Johnny Hurst just flew to the inside wall here. Watch the wheel here. I think a monitor or a headset, something quit working. That is definitely a technical malfunction. Whatever software, hardware. I know a lot of drivers like to race on VR, but I've been broadcasting now for 4 years, and the #1 failure of hardware has been a VR headset. So with just 10 laps to go, we see Another group of trucks come down pit road, maybe worried that they won't make it on fuel here. I want to take this chance to pull up the 58 of Johnny Hurst if he's still in the Discord. Johnny Hurst, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. Do you got a copy?
I got you, bud.
Well, Johnny, it looks like a technical issue there. VR headset, did the wheel disable? Something happened there, we could tell.
I just locked up. My screen, everything just locked up. Wheels are rolling too, and I don't know what happened. Just one of those things, man.
So the computer locks up, the monitors freeze up. We saw you kind of try to keep, the wheel where you thought you should be to not wreck everyone, and then suddenly, I would say it started working again. You were facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, I was trying to hold it to the right some because I know that I was on the outside, and I just thought maybe I'd hit the wall, but that's all I could do was hit and lock it down. I see I creamed the number 20 truck. I'm gonna have to apologize to him. I did not mean to do that, so just one of those things, man.
Oh, we got a moment up here in the booth. I know this race hasn't exactly went to plan. Anybody that you want to shout out though while we have you up here?
Just all these guys that was out here racing tonight. Just glad to see everybody showing up. I mean, it was a ball out there. It was just a good race. I hate it ended like that for me, and I hate I hit the 20 truck there, but I just didn't know what to do about it.
I had to tow back to pit road, but the 58 of Johnny Hurst, still an opportunity here. Maybe get back on the lead lap. You have that fast repair in your back pocket.
I had to use that earlier. It already told me I was done. Yeah, I blew up and everything, so. Yeah, my race is over. Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming into the booth to talk to us, though.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate you.
John Hurst in the number 58. Done for the day. We're getting the 1 to go signal here. Gonna try to go back green. This is where Talladega can strike 2 or 3 different times. You have some drivers that got some laps back. The 71 of Daniel Love is back on the lead lap. The 49 of Chris Melton, who's been trying time and time again to get it the old-fashioned way, he's now back on the lead lap. Dale Adamson 1 lap down. We still have 15 trucks on the lead lap. Matthew Barker, Mike Presley, Benjamin Richards, Brian Hennings, and Larry Fairman, the top 5. This could be the last restart of the night. We could take it into green-white checkered territory. Who has enough to hold on for race number 8 here at Talladega? We've seen plenty of speed. We've seen plenty of lead changes. A little more cautions than we probably want here at Talladega. But let's see if we can finish this race out under green. Barker, Presley, Richards, Fairman, Hennings. Green flag is out. 10 laps to go, 9 when they cross the stripe. Side by side for the lead. The 99 gives a shove to the 44, labeled as the 17 on your screen. tries to get him to the lead, but the inside line is not developed. Outside is where it's at. Matthew Barker is going to take over into 3 and 4 and pull away. Richards, Hennings, give him the shove on that high line. On board with Benjamin Richards. He has 3 laps led here today. And Richards has been kind of silent here. As we tick down more and more of these laps, here comes Richards to the bottom. Hennings is clear. They go to the bottom and take over the point. What a move there from Benjamin Richards and Brian Hennings to take the lead. The 96 left out to dry there. Barker falls back. And the 17 of Presley all over the back bumper of Hennings into 3. Brian Hennings is glued to the back of the 56. Out of turn 4, keeping that lead. Laps left. Third line has developed, the 29 and the 2. Tried to get it going. Richardson and Pylan fall back. It's not the time just yet for that third line to get started. You can see Pylan trying to side draft. I believe that's the 49 who just got back on the lead lap. And the 41 who is 2 laps down here. It's actually 6 laps down for Dalton Steele. Is trying to push the 96. He's going to go out to the outside, try to carry the 49 with him. And a lot of contact back there on the third lane. Richards is going to lead another one. And they're sideways, the 49. Big crash again with the 41s involved. And the caution comes out with 6 laps to go. Dalton Steele, who is already 6 laps down, coasting out of 3 and 4. Oh, that's backwards. It's 1 and 2. Saw the move to the third line. Right there's heavy contact from the 49. It looked like Chris Melton was trying to get his teammate up there, but then decided, well, we're going to go 4 wide. And I'm not exactly sure why he would try that there. That benefited no one. Melton and the 41 of Dalton Steele get together. There's some heavy contact on all 4 lanes. And it looks like the 49 is probably going to be done for the day. They already used that fast repair. Now picks up more damage. Let's watch it one more time here. So it'll be under 5 to go. Right on that window of a natural green-white checkered. We'll have to wait and see how this all pans out. Benjamin Richards will be your leader for this next restart. As Brian Hennings behind him. A good opportunity here for Richards to get a win. This is normally where we would take an opportunity to pull a driver up, but Benjamin Richards very adamant that he's going to earn his V-Speed interview in victory lane. So we won't pull the 56 up into the booth. Let's say we bring up Larry Fairman in the number 99. It's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Larry, we're pretty much a natural green-white checkered territory here for this next restart. You've been up front 90% of the day, but we know how things can go at Talladega. What's your take here? What's it going to take to get this victory?
That's a good question. Staying out of trouble.
Staying out of trouble. Yeah, I mean, that's probably part one of many parts in the steps to getting to victory lane. But what is your scenario here? Where would you like to be position-wise on that final lap before you get to that checkered flag?
Honestly, hopefully I'm on the bottom because it's easier to get out of the road when the wrecks happen.
Fair enough, Larry. Well, good luck to you out there. Is there anybody that you'd like to shout out while we have you up in the booth?
No, just my sponsor, Canadian Tire.
All right, well, appreciate you coming up here, and maybe we'll get to talk to you post-race.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
It's number 99 of Larry Fairman. Getting ready to go back green. I think we'll get the 1 to go signal here. And we do, which means a natural green-white checkered here. We will take the green flag with 2 laps to go. Remember, we do have green-white checkered attempts here in this league. So if we don't make it to that white flag, we can reset these drivers again and extend this race beyond regulation of the 70 laps that were scheduled here today. Benjamin Richards and Brian Hennings, the VRX partners, going to try to make sure we make it to this white flag and run away with this race. Larry Fairman, as mentioned, in the 4th spot. Like to be to that inside. You have Mike Presley in 3rd. Barker, Tyler, Hyland, Richardson, Hawkins, and Fiedler on this top 10. How does this restart work? Probably a Discord countdown. Richards has to be mistake-free. No time left. If you mess it up now, it could be the race. Hennings on the high line. Might not have the opportunity to get to the 56 for a push. But let's find out. Into the restart zone. Natural green-white checkered. 2 laps to go when they cross the stripe. Green flag's out. We're back underway. And Richards has the 17 of Presley all over the back bumper. Hennings could not get down there. And Richards is trying to create a 3-wide situation behind him here. But he leaves himself out to dry, and Hennings goes high. There goes the 74 to the high line. Takes the lead down the back stretch. The 96 on the bottom. Now Hennings drops down in front of Benjamin Richards to try to get a push in the middle lane. Barker has the lead as we come around for what could be the last start of the race, the last lap of the race. White flag in the air, one more time around Talladega. It's 3 wide for the lead into 1 and 2. Hennings on the high line. The 99 can't get it going, has one truck pushing, that's the 2 of Richardson. Benjamin Richards gives a hard shove into the middle of the backstretch. Can he hold on? Does he have enough temp left for 3 and 4? And into the tri-oval. A wiggle. Hennings has got to get the momentum. The 96 of Barker takes the lead back. One more try. Another big shove. Hennings by a nose. Barker to the bottom. Side by side across the line. And by 5/100ths of a second, Brian Hennings is going to be victorious at Talladega. A big shove there from Benjamin Richards puts Brian Hennings just by a nose ahead of the 96 coming out of turn 4. Here's a look at the start-finish line. Brian Hennings just barely ahead there. And you'll see him come across here in slow motion in just a moment. There it is, right there. Benjamin Richards pushes Brian Hennings. Hennings, who only led 9 laps today, got involved in almost everything. He's going to be victorious here tonight. Post-race interviews with your top 3. Those final results from Talladega, the Roughneck Racing Truck Series presented by Wagoner's Welding. Don't go anywhere. More coverage will continue here on V-Speed.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live at Talladega Super Speedway. Roughneck Racing and their truck series has concluded their 70 laps as scheduled with a natural green-white checkered to finish it off. It was Brian Hennings, after 30 lead changes and 8 cautions, started in the 5th position. I believe Brian Hennings was involved in at least 4 out of those 8, but was able to save just enough of that truck to bring it home and still had the fast repair in the back pocket. Congratulations to him. Matthew Barker will finish in 2nd position. Number 96 down on that bottom line, just not enough push there from the 17 and the 29. Benjamin Richards will get 3rd. Looks like Jimmy Pylan will finish in 4th position. I think most laps led is going to go to that 29. Then it's Mike Presley in 5th spot, Chad Hawkins in 6th, Zach Tyler 7th here today, Tim Richardson in 8th, Daniel Love in 9th, and Larry Fairman rounding out the top 10. Edward Fiedler is going to finish in 11th with Dale Adamson in 12th. Chris Ramsey in 13th with Teresa Spiker, 14th spot. Chris Melton in 15th position. Dalton Steele, 16th. Johnny Hurst will finish in 17th. You heard the screen lock up there on the 17. Tough break for him. James Waring will finish 18th. Tony Richards, 49 laps down, 19th position. Justin Hollings, 56 laps down in 20th. And then Doug Wagoner, who had problems as well today, will finish in 21st. But with that, let's bring your top three up here into the booth. Your third place finisher, Benjamin Richards, took that restart just before green. You were in the lead. You moved up to the middle. It looked like you left yourself out to dry there, but Brian Hennings dropped down in front of you. Was that all part of the plan, or were you trying to maintain the lead there?
Well, I messed up on the restart, was trying to block both lanes. Brian went around on the outside, and when he dropped down inside, I said, he's winning. I'm pushing him to the win, and I didn't lift.
We saw you move up there to the middle. It looked like a couple of times here tonight it was difficult to commit to one line or another, and it created a lot of turbulence. We saw it through the field all night long. How difficult was it to keep this truck stable?
Very difficult. I had to change wheel settings, force feedback, whatnot, just to be able to keep it in one line. With my normal settings, it just felt like it was all over. I don't know if iRacing did something in the update with the aero, the suspension, what, but the truck seemed loose on the middle and top line.
Looked like a handful out there tonight, but Benjamin Richards, you said you would get up here in the booth. You were going to earn your interviews the right way. So I resisted the urge to pull you up here during that caution there with just 5 to go. Guess what? You got up here in the booth again.
Yes. Yeah, that was my goal, was to get in the booth, talk to you, and hopefully help a teammate win.
Well, you accomplished both those things here tonight. Third place finisher, Benjamin Richards. Anybody you want to shout out for tonight's performance?
Yes. First of all, my wife, Tony, for letting me do this. You for the broadcast, Roughneck Racing for the league, Wagoner Welding for the sponsorship of the league, VRX, Mama T, Brian Hennings especially. Man, that guy can push. Kevin Malarkey for always supporting me. And you guys, you're awesome.
Kevin Malarkey. Yep. Should have start with that one next time.
All right.
Benjamin Richards, thank you for your time, buddy.
Thank you, and talk to you later, bud.
It's Benjamin Richards, third place finisher here today at Talladega. We're going to move on to our second place finisher. It's the number 96, Matt, the Ace Barker. You got a copy?
I do. Well,
Matt, you got down there on the bottom line. I think you just needed a shove from maybe a little bit further back. I don't know if 2 trucks can get it going. It looked like that top line had 3 trucks in tandem shoving as they came out of turn 4. All you had to your back bumper there was the 29 of Jimmy Pyland. I don't know, man. It was 0.05 of a second. It doesn't get much closer than that.
Oh yes, the top lane. I did prefer the top lane on that. We got into trouble early, so I sort of had to nurse the truck there, past midway point of the race, and just I was able to put myself in position there. I know that last restart we was on the bottom, and I told my teammate Jimmy there, I was like, do not lift. I knew it was just gonna be me and him. And we wasn't in the preferred line there, but just overall good night for sure. I'm pleased for where we finished.
Well, Matt, you come in here tonight with ninth place starting effort. Qualifying doesn't much matter here. It's avoiding the crashes. And so when we go through, we've had, I believe, 9 cautions tonight. How difficult was it to avoid the carnage?
It was very difficult. I felt myself a couple other times really close calls. And I'd already had to use my fast repair early, first I think 15 laps. So I was looking for a long night, but just pacing myself, sticking around the back, just keeping pace. Seemed well. Like I say, I was able to duck in the pits, top off fuel a couple times, just put myself up front when that last caution come out, and just put myself in contention to grab a top 5.
Up front when it mattered most and give himself a chance. Matthew Barker, is there anybody you want to shout out?
Yes, James Wagner's Welding. He sponsors my ride, and he sponsored the league. So I always want to give him a shout out for all that he does for us. I'd like to give my teammates a shout out, big shout out tonight. We all run good. I think we all had top 5, top 10 finishes tonight. We all worked good together tonight. So big shout out to my teammates. For sure. Glad to have Tim back on board, part of the team. Johnny, we got Jimmy back. So good group of guys. Good group to work with. So glad to have them back.
Well, Matt, we appreciate your time for coming up in the booth, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Second place finisher here tonight, Matthew Barker in the number 96. And finally, that brings us to Victory Lane, where Brian Hennings has got race number 8. You've claimed the victory here tonight in what could have been maybe the toughest race that I've seen you drive. You stuck it out. You kind of prove my point. When I see all these broadcasts and do all these broadcasts, I see a lot of drivers give up early in these races, and you were caught up in 3-4 different incidents tonight and never used a fast repair. You come home victorious.
Yes, thank you, sir. Yeah, I was going to actually say what you just said. I still had my fast repair in the bag. Came home tonight with 16X. We were just looking at that. We had quite a few drivers that tied at 24X for the most incidents. Yeah, a few more cautions than we all probably would have liked, but yeah, hung in there, and it worked out because the 56. I wouldn't be here talking to you from Victory Circle if it wasn't for Mr. Benjamin Richards. Thank you, Ben.
We saw the restart there. Richardson moved up to the middle. He said he was trying to block the high and the upper lanes there, and it looked like it kind of shut down his opportunity, but it created one for you. When you went to that high lane and passed on the outside in 3 and 4, did you immediately know I'm dropping down in front of the 56?
Well, we were both had said that. Like, I joked with him first. All right, looks like I'm pushing you to the win, and he immediately came back. No, I'm pushing you to the win. And yeah, when that restart happened, it just seemed like he was drifting up too much. And sure enough, I saw somebody out of the corner of my eye going below him. I was screaming out to him, pick a lane. And so I kind of had to go up. Otherwise, I think we kind of would have wrecked there maybe or whatever. But yeah, the momentum worked out, and I got in front of him. And as he probably said, he said to me, it was the no lift challenge for him, and the temps weren't an issue because we had 2 laps there, and truck doesn't get that hot that quick. And he pushed me to the wind. It was a nice clean finish for everybody. It was good to see that there wasn't a massive pile up across the finish line. It was a good finish to the race.
Yeah, and if you would have told me it was going to finish under green, I would have called you a liar. We had 8 cautions here tonight.
Yep.
It started out a little rough, but ultimately we still had about 15, 16 of you guys on pace here.
Yeah. Like I said, there was one too many cautions. I didn't want to start yelling at people. I mean, it's not my place. But yeah, it seemed like people were just making some silly moves early on. It's like, guys, it's 70 laps. It's not 20. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, you just got to roll with the punches. And thankfully, every time I got damaged, like I said, the longest repair I had was 50 seconds. I had quite a few 20-second repairs, and kept the faster pair, and like I said, here we are talking to you from the booth.
A fine looking truck at that. Anybody come to mind that got you in victory lane here tonight?
Like I say, just a massive shout out to Ben, Jim, and Richards. Yeah, for pushing me. If he would have been in front of me, I would have done the same for him. Just helping out a teammate. Just want to thank everyone at V-Speed, yourself, Mr. Cooper, all the admins in Roughneck, Tim, and everyone else over there. They put on a pretty good league. All my other teammates at BRX. Hi, Paul, and of course, can't forget my wife and daughter. Love you guys.
There you have it. Brian Hennings, victorious week number 8. We look forward to seeing you next week at Michigan.
Thank you, sir.
And that'll do it for our coverage here tonight. It was a fun one. Tune in next week. There you go. Take a quick look there at Michigan International Raceway. 2 Mile Oval in the foothills, the Irish Hills, rather, of central northern Michigan. Track very similar to Auto Club that has recently been taken off the schedule. So it's my new favorite racetrack that still exists, and it's fun to watch. Hope you can tune in at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have flag-to-flag coverage all season long here for the Roughneck Racing and their truck series presented by Wagoner's Welding. But that's going to do it for us here on V-Speed. If you did enjoy tonight's broadcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss a single race. For everybody at V-Speed, Adam Baker in the background doing productions as well on Tuesday nights. Our other producers, Eddie Smith, Logan Threlkeld, Morgan Cook. Morgan Cook recently became a father just yesterday, so shout out to him as well. Congratulations to him. And then finally, Christian Hill. This is Bradley Cooper telling you, have a great rest of your week. We'll see you Saturday for S&R Final 2 races.